The hum of New York City at night was a sound Jenna had grown accustomed to. As a paramedic, she'd seen the city's darkest moments, yet tonight carried a strange weight. The air felt heavy, almost charged, as if the universe was holding its breath. Jenna parked her ambulance near the corner of 8th Avenue, checking her watch. Her shift was nearly over, and the promise of her soft bed was a beacon in her mind. Her partner, Marcus, was inside a nearby diner grabbing coffee, leaving her momentarily alone. She gazed out at the city, its lights twinkling like distant stars. Her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden movement in her peripheral vision. A figure stumbled into the alley across the street. Jenna's instincts kicked in, and she grabbed her med kit. "Hold on," she muttered to herself, crossing the street. As she approached, she saw a young woman leaning against the brick wall, her silver hair catching the dim light. She looked disoriented and wore a strange, iridescent dress that seemed out of place in this part of town. "Hey, are you okay?" Jenna asked gently, crouching down. The woman's eyes met hers, and Jenna froze. Her irises shimmered like galaxies, swirling with colors Jenna had never seen. For a moment, she felt as if she were staring into the universe itself. "Please," the woman whispered, her voice soft yet commanding. "They're coming for me." Before Jenna could ask who, a loud bang echoed through the alley. She turned to see two men in black suits emerge from the shadows, their movements unnaturally fluid. Their eyes glinted with an eerie, metallic sheen. "Stay behind me," Jenna said, positioning herself between the woman and the men. She didn't understand what was happening, but her protective instincts overrode her fear. "Hand her over," one of the men demanded, his voice cold and devoid of emotion. "She needs help," Jenna replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "If you want her, you'll have to go through me." The man raised a weapon, its design unlike anything Jenna had ever seen. Before she could react, the weapon fired. A searing pain shot through her shoulder as she was thrown backward. She hit the ground hard, her vision blurring. "No," the silver-haired woman cried out, her voice resonating with an otherworldly power. A shockwave rippled through the alley, sending the men flying. They hit the walls with a sickening thud and slumped to the ground, motionless. Jenna groaned, clutching her shoulder. The pain was intense, but she managed to sit up. The woman knelt beside her, placing a hand over the wound. Jenna felt a warmth spread through her body, and when she looked down, the wound was gone. "Who are you?" Jenna asked, her voice shaky. "My name is Lyra," the woman said. "And I owe you my life." Over the next few days, Jenna's life turned upside down. Lyra explained that she was an alien princess from a distant galaxy, on the run from a faction that sought to overthrow her family. The men in black were hunters sent to capture her. Her people possessed advanced technology and abilities, but Lyra had been stripped of most of her powers to evade detection. Jenna found herself harboring Lyra in her small apartment, a decision that felt both reckless and necessary. The two women formed an unlikely bond, sharing stories late into the night. Lyra spoke of her home planet, Irinder, a world of crystal forests and twin suns. Jenna shared tales of her childhood and the city she'd come to love despite its chaos. But danger was never far. The hunters were relentless, and Jenna's apartment became a battleground. Each encounter tested their resolve, pushing them to the brink. Jenna discovered a bravery she didn't know she had, while Lyra learned to trust and rely on someone outside her royal circle. One night, as they hid in an abandoned subway station, Lyra revealed the true stakes. "If they capture me," she said, her voice trembling, "it's not just my family that will suffer. They'll use me to access Irinder's core energy, destabilizing the entire galaxy." "Then we won't let that happen," Jenna said firmly. "We'll fight." Lyra looked at her with a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. "You've already sacrificed so much for me. I can't ask for more." "You didn't ask," Jenna replied with a small smile. "I chose this. As the hunters closed in, Jenna and Lyra devised a plan. They would lure the enemy into a trap and disable their leader, a ruthless figure named Koran. With his defeat, the hunters would lose their coordination, giving Lyra a chance to escape Earth and return to Arinder. The final confrontation took place on the rooftop of a skyscraper, under a stormy sky. Jenna and Lyra fought side by side, their bond unbreakable. Koran proved to be a formidable foe, but in the end, it was Jenna's quick thinking and Lyra's rediscovered powers that turned the tide. As the hunter's ship exploded in the distance, Lyra turned to Jenna. "It's time for me to go," she said, her voice heavy with emotion. Jenna nodded, tears streaming down her face. "Stay safe out there, princess." Lyra embraced her, the stars in her eyes shimmering brighter than ever. "Thank you, Jenna. For everything." As Lyra's ship ascended into the night sky, Jenna stood alone on the rooftop, watching until it disappeared among the stars. The city's hum returned, but Jenna knew her life had been forever changed. Somewhere out there, among the galaxies, was a friend she'd risked everything for. And she'd do it all again. The days that followed felt surreal. Jenna resumed her duties as a paramedic, but her mind often drifted to Lyra and the adventures they'd shared. She felt the weight of the secret she carried, but also the pride of knowing she'd played a role in something far greater than herself. One evening, while sorting through her med kit, Jenna noticed a small, glowing crystal tucked inside. It pulsed faintly, warm to the touch. A note accompanied it, written in an elegant, alien script she could now somehow understand. "Jenna. This crystal contains a piece of Arinder's light, a symbol of my gratitude. Should you ever need me, it will guide me back to you. Until then, stay strong and keep shining your light. Lyra." Jenna smiled, holding the crystal close. The hum of the city surrounded her once more, but this time, she felt connected to something far beyond its borders. The universe, vast and infinite, had become a little smaller, and her place in it a little clearer. And somewhere among the stars, she knew Lyra was watching over her.